It was difficult.
You need somebody that has been here in the good times and been here in the bad times, and just has the requisite understanding of the issues to be able to lead for other people that are that may have differences of opinion and may have a different view of the way the world is and the way the world should be.
Back when I was a young kid and living life, I was an American kid. In New Jersey, I remember having to pose myself as something different. I dyed my hair, I had highlights, I tried to use the papaya whitening soap. They say the lighter skin, the better looking, and in New Jersey, the lighter the skin you have, the more accepted you'd be in front of people. And at that time, I was really dark, so I didn't know how to fit in. So I did everything that I could to fit in. So I didn't know who I was.
So now they're totally assimilated to the American culture. They've lost that whole part of identity, and can't connect with the language, the people, the culture, the respect. They only know what was passed on to them. I know for myself, the military effect of me is I am, much patriotic about the country, about the United States.
I do remember sitting on his lap, and he would sing to us in Tagalog, and he would count to us in Chinese. And I remember him, he would give us piggyback rides on his lap, and he would do a sing-song of Chinese rhythms, I guess the counting, and of the Filipino songs. So that I remember very clearly from my grandfather. And the fact that he was very loving to us, I do remember that.
Yeah, the equity benefits that was given to us, this 15,000 compensation, we appreciate that, but it's not enough for us for the benefits of the veterans. We need the full equity benefits, and we need also the pension benefits for our service under the U.S. flag.
Didn't feel that way. My older kids did not feel that way at the beginning, because as my daughter eventually wrote me, they hated being here. They hated the new environment. They hated the school. They hated the loud voices of the people. They hated the food.
There's a few different gaps. There's regional gaps. There's these generational gaps. Oftentimes the regional gaps are carried over to the generational gaps, and oftentimes people of the next generation, our youth, don't understand why they hold these prejudices and why they feel the way they feel about certain other Filipinos that haven't been here longer.
My struggles aren't just for me, but it's for the community type of thing, and that's where I started to discover who I was as a person, who I am as a Filipino. A lot of times people will ask me, what do you identify yourself as? Filipino, Filipino American, all these different things. Yes, I'm American by nationality because I live here, but my ideals, my culture, my mindset is not American. I would really consider myself Filipino.
National anthem in the Philippines, and tell jokes about, maybe I got taken back by some of the jokes because they were making fun of Filipinos, but these are Filipinos making fun of themselves. And okay, am I offended? I could be offended, but the kids in that whole group were laughing, and that just made them realize, hey, you know what? That is our culture. That is the accent. That is what we do, and it's accepted.
She wanted us to have a strong identity as a Filipina, and she would just tell us, how beautiful we were as Filipinos. She wanted us to learn the language. She had us learn all the customs, the food, the dances, the music, and she also wanted us to feel very proud of being part African American. She said she didn't want us to ever forget my grandfather. And all that he had done for her and for the family, and all of the Buffalo Soldiers who helped her too.
I decided to stay in the United States because it's better than in the Philippines, because if we are only in the Philippines, we can receive anything. It's better here because even though you receive only a small amount, there is every month we can use it for our food, clothing, and anything for us. That's why it's better here.
Well, the first thing they have to know is, just like any immigrant, they have to accept that they have to be humbled by the realities in America. I mean, you have to go through jobs that are not appropriate to your background, maybe, and then you'll have to learn how to do things on your own, especially with children, and your children will have to learn how to be more independent as opposed to having somebody always taking care of them. But there's also a lot of pluses. First of all, you can, as a woman, you can really reinvent yourself, and there's a lot of support for single parents here.
Years ago, I was part of an Asian nonprofit, the Asian American Recovery Service, and we ran programs. One of the programs that we ran was an intergenerational program that we taught about smoking cessation. I think we taught college kids how to teach. We taught college kids how to teach high school kids how to speak to middle school kids about the dangers of smoking. Now, that's not, that kind of intergenerational is one thing, it's all within the youth, but the other intergenerational issues should be, we should get our youth groups involved with the seniors and get them to mix and congregate and actually find out what those issues are. Now, forcing them together is one thing, but looking again for some commonality. The times that I've seen it happen, picnics, social gatherings, and you know as well as I, Rika, that it doesn't take much of an excuse for Filipinos to get together in a social gathering. I mean,
Right now I actually work for a social service agency called Filipino Advocates for Justice, also known, actually formerly known as Filipinos for Affirmative Action. I'm a youth counselor over there, and I run a community organizing group there called Regional Alliance for Community Empowerment, and what we do is we address youth issues in Union City. And with that, we also offer different services in our agency, just about Filipino culture in that sort of sense. We run night groups called PYC every Wednesdays. There, we educate young folks on culture, on youth lives and struggles and obstacles, and life in general.
There's the Filipinos that are from the Philippines that do need to identify with